GHS Ambat. Magandang umaga po, Asec Ambat.
Okay, magandang umaga, Father Jerome, at sa ating mga kasamahan sa Arnold Jansen, si Brother Max, and of course, sa mga kasamahan din natin ng mga IMs, mobile teachers, kaya Teacher Ched, na every so often ay nakaka-chat ko rin kung meron kami mga katanungan. So, alam ko, hot seat ako ngayon. Hot seat ako ngayon. But nonetheless, no, we are trained, we are being, it's part of our duty to face our stakeholders and give them the real score of what will happen next. At alam ko rin na importante yung impormasyon na ibabahagi. Ang title po ng aking presentation ay ALS Programs in the New Normal. Parte po ito ng learning continuity plan, but I will focus first on the A&E test. So next slide, please. Okay. So alam po natin ang A&E test, ito po ay nationally administered test na according to DO 55 series of 2016, ay ina-administer po ito taon-taon, dapat ng BEA, ng Bureau of Education Assessment. Ito po ang naging setup namin pagkatapos pong ma-rationalize ng ating pong kagawaran. Yung pong policy, we have a policy. May nirelease po kaming policy guidelines noon pong 2019. This one is establishing yun pong enhanced alternative learning system 2.0. Ito po ang nagbuo ng tinatawag na ALS task force ngayon. At sinasabi namin na while the A&E test will now be based on the competencies of the new ALS K-12 basic education curriculum, it will continue to be administered by the Bureau of Education Assessment. Ito po, again, DO 13, series of 2019, sa hindi pa po nakakaalam. And then, parte po ng assessment in the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. I hope yung ating mga partners ay nakakuha na po ng kopya noong Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan na siya pong pinagpuyatan namin at pinagpaguran po namin since March. We have released this just this week. And ang sinasabi po doon, on the part of assessment, sinasabi doon ay na ang national assessments or examinations are necessary part of quality assurance because it gives us feedback on the systems, on the curricular reforms, the needed professional development of teachers, so that we can invest in provision of financial resources, learning materials, and students' learning outcome. Ang good news po doon sa Learning Continuity Plan when it comes to assessment ay ito. The administration of national examinations shall continue amidst COVID-19. DepEd shall issue specific guidelines on assessments taking into consideration the physical limitations imposed by COVID-19. Ang good news po with regard to the A&E test, this is for the 2019 learners. Una, we have hurdled the procurement of a service provider who will print, deliver, and process the results. And kung natatandaan po ninyo, noon pong 2017 ay na-delay ng mahigit isang taon yung ating exam, and it's because of our problems with procurement. Wala pong nananalo na service provider para mag-print, para mag-deliver ng ating results. So malaking achievement na nakapag-procure po at na-award yung kontrata. Pero we go to the not so good news. The printing and delivery of test materials has been put on hold because of the ECQ. So nung sinara po ang mga opisina, ang mga pagawaan, naapektuhan po ang ating delivery and printing of test materials. And of course, due to extended community quarantines, we were expecting supposed to be that by after April 16, magpapatuloy na po tayo, makakapag-print na po tayo, pero na-extend ang community quarantines. And we wanted also to ensure the health and safety of both takers and DepEd personnel, ALS implementers who will serve as proctors. So the scheduled A&E test for May 2020 is postponed to a later date. Ang silver lining nito, of course, that's why I was asking a while ago, gano'n na po ba karami, nasaan na po ang completion ng ating mga estudyante? Because with the exam delayed, and as we try to come up with protocols, try to come up with a system on how to administer this one, we will have more time for learners to complete their ILAs and to work on their portfolios. Yung portfolio po kanina, marami akong naririnig who were saying that nabaliwala yung portfolio kasi hindi naman siya kasama sa A&E test, wala siyang grade, wala siyang, kumbaga, hindi pa nako-compute yung percentage. But of course, no, I've been conversing with a lot of ALS implementers and supervisors, and they were saying that even if it doesn't merit a grade as part of the A&E test, yung overall score nila, they have been assigning their learners to make their own portfolios as a reflection of what they have learned. Kumbaga, nandoon yung mga writings nila, nandoon yung mga pagjo-journal nila, nandoon yung mga pre and post test nila. It's a compilation of that as an evidence of learning, as an evidence of completion then of completion of certain competencies. And another silver lining to the delay is that it opens doors for suggestion on how to administer a high-stakes exam in the new normal. Again, I was saying kanina na this is the first time that we are facing a pandemic na iba't ibang lockdowns, and we are treading lightly, much as we want to go full blast and do things the way we do them before. We have a new normal upcoming, and we have to think through on how we can still administer the exam. So I like what Professor Ched mentioned a while ago na yung they have heard of the readiness test that ALS Task Force has prepared. The readiness test is supposed to be administered before the A&E test. At ang readiness test na ito will determine kumbaga kung nasa ang level na ng competencies ng mga bata before they take the A&E test, or it also measures kung paano na ba namin naturo yung new curriculum. It's also a system assessment for all of us. So, factors to consider when planning for the administration of the A&E test. We will consider yung omnibus guidelines on community quarantine na in-issue po ng IATF. Ito, syempre, if you have reviewed these things, una sa lahat, yung usapin ng mga eskwelahan. As you may know, we use the schools as testing centers, and it's critical na baka hindi pa ma-administer ang test before August 24, because what is being said is that ang face-to-face sa mga eskwelahan ay mangyayari pa lang August 24, but not before that. So we will clarify a bit on on how it applies to test administration, but it might be we were looking at it being applied also for tests, no? Nandyan din, when you talk of the omnibus guidelines also, we look at the different levels of community quarantines. Nandyan yung, okay, nakabukas yung mga eskwelahan natin, pero walang sasakyan dahil hindi pa pinapayagan. So we have to factor those things. And also, in an exam room, kumbaga dati ang polisiya ng BEA is 30 examinees per room. So now the minimum health standard says that 15 students or learners lang per room dapat when we hold classes, lalo na siguro for exams, like especially if it will take time, 4 hours, 5 hours to administer it. So another thing to consider is the physical distancing protocols during test administration. And I saw in the presentation also of the previous speaker na calling for a decentralized exam na i-administer na lang dapat yan ng district or ng division level. One of the things that we want to consider when we plan for the administration of an exam will be yung quality assurance protocol during printing of test materials and during the administration. Again, we do value our learners, but of course, no, we want to, through the exam, we want to verify and we want to, anong tawag dito? We want to recognize what they have done. So hindi, I know there have been issues before on integrity, on credibility of the results, and we don't want our learners to be, accused of having a malabnaw qualification when they proceed to the next level of learning. So this is what I was talking about, the protocols that we have to consider. This is just an example, no? From ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, and MGCQ. I do realize that meron ding isa pang situation wherein walang community quarantine protocols. But so far, this is what's been happening: ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, and MGCQ. So we're saying that in the Department of Education, even without the Bureau of Alternative Learning System, na-rationalize nga in 2016, we're saying that the number of A&E test passers between 2016 and 2018 increased to 130,019 per year, which is higher by 56% compared to the average number of passers per year from 2005 to 2015. So what we're saying here is that the department is adamant in delivering its promise. Na sinabi natin, no one will be left behind. Kasama natin dito, whether formal or non-formal, we want to be able to give them the certifications and the qualifications that they need so that they can work, they can apply for further education. And in the last 3 years, we also, with the inputs and with the help of our partners, na-improve natin yung passing rate, na-improve natin na maraming nakapag-take ng exam. So, yun, nagpapasalamat kami sa patuloy na pagtatrabaho ng ating mga teachers and ng ating mga partners. So for more information, ang DepEd Alternative Learning System ay meron pong microsite doon po sa DepEd website. Meron din po kaming Facebook page. Ito po yung DepEd ALS 2.0. And we also have, if you have any more concerns, kindly email us in the address indicated on the slide.